Redbeard, put your head as high as
Hey
you can. So I just want to see there.
Shut up. Hey there, beer tubers. Welcome back to Beer Analysis 101. Your host,
you almost got it, Nick.
Shut up, Greg. We are going to take a look at something deserving of this shitty intro. We're taking a look at something from Moosehead. This is Moosehead's Cracked Canoe Premium Light Lager, 3.5% ABV. Yes, we all have a single can of it. Every single one of us, except for Greg, who left his computer. Anyway, whatever. Let's move on. What's that, Rash?
I was going to say I bought 2 of them because they were on sale.
All right.
I bought 2 as well. I just drank mine yesterday.
I brought one of them because it was on sale, so I can buy some more better beers.
Greg.
Hi.
How you
Oh, am I first? Hi, Nick. How are you?
Because you came in here first. Now, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing just fantastic. About to enjoy this fantastic, high-quality product. I don't have a Moosehead glass, so I'm going to use an elephant glass because we got to keep the animal theme going. Also, Arnold's being a naughty boy and will probably get locked up. How are you, Nick?
I'm not doing too bad. All right, let's move over to Mr. Beernomicron.
Hi, I'm former alcoholic Radar. You might know me from such channels as Drinking in Canada and maybe 3-4 videos on Maxwell Star and 1 video on Redbeard's channel. I will start doing some reviews on my channel very soon because I renamed it Beernomicron.
Oh,
and yes, I'm doing very good. Nick, how are you?
I'm not too bad. Thank you for asking. And also, one thing we're noticing now is that we actually have Radar on camera this time, even though it looks like you froze.
Yeah.
I
did not freeze. I just went.
I know. All right, let's go over to Ashley. Yep, I almost said it. Of Sexton Brewing Co. How are you doing?
Doing great, thanks. How are you doing today?
There's a recurring theme here. I'm not doing too bad.
Doing great. Yeah, just doing great. Prepping for one of my son's birthdays tomorrow, so I did some baking, doing some domesticated house husband stuff. So yeah, there we go.
THC baking.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Let's go. Speaking of which, let's go over to Mr. Redbeard. You do something to your beard? You get it's like it's sticking out or something.
He poofed it.
He poofed his. Anyway, how are you doing tonight?
How the hell are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing just great.
That's great. Thanks for having me, man. Yeah.
No problem. Anytime you actually have the beer.
Wow.
Right on. And last but certainly not least, we got the Fuzz here.
Yo. How's it going?
How are you doing? Thank you. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. Just chilling. Just gonna enjoy. Cracked Canoe from Moosehead.
Nice. And you got a cat in the background.
I have a cat in the background, and I have a Mallory in the background.
Yeah, Mrs. Fuzz.
She's playing Animal Crossing.
Nice.
Fuzz and Fuzzy.
Exactly. And the fuzzy kitty. All right, let's bring it back over to moi. And I'm going to read the first. I'm going to read the comments here because there's 3. There's cheers to Kent Beer Reviews. Cheers, Craig. Nice
Cheers,
to see
Craig.
you. And also from Mr. Lee saying Radar has a camera. Good Lord. Cue the hitchhiker music.
Wow.
And how am I doing today, Nick? Not doing too bad. You're not doing too bad. That's great, Lee. I'm not doing too bad either, if you haven't been able to tell already. It's been canned responses everywhere. Anyway, let's go back over to me, and I'm going to read the beer history because we actually have one for this, sort of. So Moosehead Cracked Canoe. We've looked at Moosehead already. It's been over a year since we last did something from Moosehead, but we've done Moosehead already on our channel. We did like the Radler. We did the London Stout. We did the Pale Ale and the Lager. I think we did the Lager way back on Lee's channel and Beer Analysis on his channel. But we've done it numerous times over the past, so I won't go into too much detail. And we'll give a quick recap of the brewery, the cliff notes of their origins. So Moosehead traces its origins to August 1867 when Susanna Olin started the Turtle Grove Brewery in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. After her death, control passed to her son, George W.C. Olin, in 1885, and through several fires, a sale to a British syndicate, and ultimately starting again from scratch. George W.C. led the company up until the Halifax explosion devastated the area in December of 1917. After the explosion, it was feared that the rebuilding of the city would take far too long for the company to survive. And in 1918, with the insurance money, George W.C. purchased the Simon Jones Red Ball Brewery in St. John, New Brunswick, sending his son, George B. Oland, who had just returned from World War I, to run the brewery while he and his other son, Sidney, rebuilt the Halifax Brewery. In 1928, the company changed its name to the New Brunswick Breweries, and expanded by purchasing the James Ready Brewery in the nearby town of Fairville, what is today the west side of St. John. While sorting through files from the buyout, George C. Olin discovered that one of James Ready's unused trademarks, the very Canadian-sounding name of Moosehead, the Moosehead brand. In 1931, Moosehead Pale Ale was launched, becoming popular enough that the brewery changed its name for the last time in 1947 to Moosehead, and followed it up with the more popular and well-known classic Moosehead Lager for export to the U.S. market in 1977. So, yeah, it's kind of neat to think that the famous Moosehead Lager we all think about is only about 44 years old. Today, Moosehead is still a family-owned and operating company under the command of Andrew Oland as CEO, with Labatt, Molson, and Sleemans all under foreign ownership. It is currently the largest independently owned brewery under Canadian control. The brewery is still located in the original site of the James Ready Brewery on St. John's west side. In 2018, Moosehead opened their small batch brewery adjacent to the main brewery in St. John to experiment on brewing new recipes as well as bringing back old classics. Some classic beers have returned. Is an approximation of Susan Olin's first beer, the October Brown Ale, as well as long discontinued classics such as 10 Penny Stock Ale and their export stout. Other beers from Moosehead include, of course, Moose Lager. We all probably already know that one. Alpine Lager, which Fuzz has probably got 3 cans and sitting in standby, which he's nodding his head. Moose Light, Moose Pale Ale, which is one of my all-time go-to beers. Moose Radler. They have the Hop City line of beers. I think the Hop City is originally like an Ontario brand, but they were bought by Moosehead a while back. And the James Ready line, which is, I think, more well known in Ontario these days, but it started as a St. John, New Brunswick branding. And of course, the Canadian market rights to Samuel Adams, Estrella Dam, Twisted Tea, and I just want to give that smashing thought. And of course, the Angry Orchard series of ciders. So tonight's beer, which is Moosehead's Crack Canoe, is a 3.5% ABV, 8 IBU, really freaking low, light lager. IBU light lager, so 8 IBU light lager. First launched as a sub 100 calorie beer aimed at the older demographic in 2009. Crack Canoe was also won several awards, especially the Canadian Brewing Awards, where it's won gold in 2012, silver in 2016, and bronze in 2013, 17, and 2020. So it's won a few times. So yeah, this was part of the old, like the 2019 craze of 90 calorie beers such as like Canadian 67, Michelob Ultra, Miller 90 or whatever the hell they had. They had like a Miller 99. I forget, it was like a low calorie. Miller Lite's pretty low calories too. The Amsterdam 86. There's a whole bunch of. They had a wave of them back, but nowadays they're still kind of popular because they're low calorie beers. So people who want to drink a beer that are working out or watching their weight, they're something to go to. But how good is this one? Well, we're kind of about to find out. So
do they still promote that as a low calorie beer?
I don't know if they do, but they did. It was like 90 calories for a can, like a normal domestic bottle.
Right.
Sure, you can.
But they don't. I don't see anything on this can saying that it's a low calorie beer. It says it's a full body taste, light on alcohol, full on flavor.
They don't say that. They don't advertise it anymore. And even 90 calories isn't as like light as you get a Canadian 67 or a shit, what's that other one called? Michelob Light.
Yeah,
Pretty low.
ultralight or whatever. And they probably took it off because there's always a connotation of once you have a low calorie beer, it sort of notes that there's going to be very little to no flavor to it. Which,
all right, it's like Miller 64.
64 calories.
64 calorie Miller.
If they would have kept it with the low calorie thing, I'd probably give. It'd be in a different category for me. It'd be a Michelob Ultra or a whatever, a low calorie beer category, but they didn't, and I have to or even organic, but I have to rate it on a light lager because they don't put it in that category.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, it does say on their website, Crack Canoe is a Moosehead Brewery's award-winning premium light lager is brewed for those who refuse to compromise their active lifestyle or their love of beer. So they're kind of, they don't promote it as a healthy product as much as they used to because, well, let's face it, 90 calories is still quite a bit.
How much beer is healthy?
Yeah,
exactly. All right, so
that has that's like promoting itself as being like an electrolyte infused beer. I can't think of the name of it, but it's kind of like even more along the.
I saw that.
It's like an active beer or something like that. Active Brewery, which is doing like non-alcoholic electrolyte beers or something.
Oh, this was still full of alcoholic. Just it has electrolyte. Dude.
Yeah, right. I saw that on Instagram this week.
Yeah. Sorry. All right, so let's go over to Greg and see what's your history with this beer.
So I had it once on July 14th, 2015. I didn't rate it. No, sorry, I did rate it on that one. I gave it a not so great rating. And then I had it once before on November 2nd, 2014, the infamous night of 500 beers. And I think I've had it unofficially a few times as well. And I think my wife bought it a few times. She kind of likes the whole low in alcohol thing. I'm going to go on the record and saying if fitness is your one and only priority, just don't drink beer. Because, don't drink a light beer. Drink less beer or drink vodka. Don't fall for this bullshit. It's still going to make you fat. If you want a six-pack, you're not going to get it with this.
This is your health tips from Greg.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a six-pack, and there's a reason why.
Because you're watching your weight.
Yeah, I'm watching it get bigger.
Right. All right. So, what's all those Imperial Stouts you're drinking?
Yeah. And all those entire pizzas I'm eating.
Yep.
Any size pizza is a personal size pizza.
Exactly.
That's right.
Speaking of personal size pizza, Radar, what's your history with this beer? You got any?
Not Crack Canoe. I don't think I've actually ever had Crack Canoe. I have had Moosehead products. Of course, Moosehead. And before 2011, October 14th, I used to drink about 12 to 14 James Reddy's a night on average. That's why I'm called former alcoholic Radar. I haven't drank like that since. That's pretty much it. Alpine. I've had Alpine a couple of times. I actually find that not bad of a light beer. I don't know if it's supposed to be a light beer, but I find it not bad. But and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, actually, Alpine's one of Fuzz's favorite beers. I'm sure he'll talk about that. But
and am I supposed to review the beer now?
Yeah, we're just doing like history and shit.
All right. Well, I was born May 16th, 1983.
Okay, let's go over to Ashley and say at least your legal drinking age, Radar. Ashley, what's your history with this beer? You got any?
I probably had this back in 2009 when it first came out. Really, that's probably about it. I think I remember buying a few six-packs when it first came out. And that was probably 2009 or maybe 2010 or something like that, and haven't really drank a lot of light beers since then, and don't really drink a lot of light beers now. So it's probably been about 12 years since I last had it. There we go. Not an exciting history. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm not expecting exciting histories on this.
I was excited, Ashley.
We do have 6 viewers though, so that's exciting. Cheers, everybody! Let us know what you're drinking in the comments. 7 viewers.
It's everyone hoping Lady Leah's here. She's not. Bye, guys.
Yeah. We're short on female content. The only thing we got is dudes with no, I'm not going there. All right, so let's go over to
cheesy facial hair.
another dude with a girl's name, Carrie. Redbeard.
Fuck you.
What's your
Yeah,
history with this beer?
I have no like specific recollection of drinking this beer, just like I have no specific recollection of drinking Moosehead, because they're both just kind of ultra average, forgettable beers. But I know I've had them on several occasions. Like, don't think I've ever purchased either one of them myself before, but I've had them like given to me at parties or only thing to drink at a bar or something like that. And it's acceptable. It's better than a lot of the more mainstream macro kind of like. It's not macro. It's Moosehead. It's kind of, macro level, I guess you'd say, but they put a bit more care into it than you'd say like Canadian or Coors or Butter, those kind of things. And
would you say like a step below macro and a step above craft?
Kind of in the opposite direction. This is be a step below.
Yeah. Okay.
Macro. Yeah.
Yeah. A step above macro, a step below craft.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
But like 30% up on the way up of macro, and 70% left to go to micro.
70% craft and 30% micro, or the other way around. All right. Oh, here, nice smile, by the way. Let's keep that positive vibes going. Let's go over 9 viewers now. Right in time to see Buzz.
Yeah.
Buzz, how you doing? And what's your history with this beer? You must have drank this on a couple of occasions at least.
Oh yeah, I've had a few. I mean, it's our local brewery. It's available everywhere. It's I've had almost every product from Moosehead. This is no exception. You buy a few of these. You go sit on the beach somewhere. I like lagers. This is a lager. It hits all my check boxes. It's right in my wheelhouse. I know what it tastes like. Goes down smooth, kind of stuff. But you know what I mean? Like, so my history extensive. That's it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So let's go over to moi and say that my history is probably similar to Buzz. I've had most of the products from Moosehead, if not all of them, in the last 10 years. It's been, I remember having Crack Canoe when it first came out, and I think I did my original, do I still have that page open? I don't think I do, but I did my original review on my channel. It was like review number 67, so we're talking about, I reviewed Crack Canoe on my YouTube channel like 10 years ago almost. So it'd be 10 years this summer. So it's been a long friggin' time since I've had this beer. And it's actually one that I like, but I don't buy much because of pretty much the same reason. I think for like a light lager, I don't want to give too many spoilers about what I really think of it. I think for a light lager, it's well done, but 3.5% ABV. I want to get drunker than that kind of thing. So it's just like depends on what mood I'm in. Anyway, so let's go over to the full panel here, and I noticed that there's comments there. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus to read them. So anybody want to read them except Greg?
Oh, Nick, come on.
Yeah, sure, I'll read them. Okay, we are left off after the radar has camera. How are you doing today, Nick? I'm doing not too bad, says Lee Russell. It used to look like energy drink / health drink cans. Did the low-cal thing when that was a fad in beer years ago?
They used to come in like black labels and stuff, and tall boy cans, but they were like narrow tall boys. Sorry, they're like 355 milliliters, like Red Bull cans.
So now beer for breakfast, facts for snacks. Said I just drank my Crack Canoe last night, and then he says, "Hey, why Crack Canoe? Ugh, UGH." And then Lee Russell says back at him, because this show does everything from top of the line to bottom of the barrel.
Yep.
And then he says,
get her hands on, basically.
But the real key is that it's a beer. A bunch of the panel can get.
This is Bill. We all.
And then beer for breakfast, facts for snacks says once again, ugh, in all caps.
Well, he's not wrong.
So. This is not even close to ugh, in my opinion. Like it's a whole bunch of meh, but this is not even close to being ugh. This is perfectly fine.
I would say it's a middle of between ugh and meh. It's like a meh.
I get nothing. I get no offensive qualities I'm getting from this beer whatsoever.
I've had ugh and yuck. This isn't it.
Yeah,
I would say that look at it in the context of what it is. Ultra light lager, like compared to Michelob Ultra, like ignoring the fact like 90 calories versus 70.
yeah.
Ignore that whole shit. Like, well, think about it. It's an ultra light premium lager. Compare it to its kin.
Yeah, in that context, it's the complete. It's not. It's hey.
I'll say no more. But what I think. But
like, so spoilers right there. Like I haven't had a light lager in a while. I'm kind of enjoying it. Not bad.
Yeah, I actually bought a 6-pack of this last week for the review, and I had to go back and get more.
For some reason,
they're all gone.
For some reason, I thought I could only get it at the beer store, and the beer store only sells them in like 6 or 12 packs. And I was like, shit. Then I checked the LCBO, and it was like, oh, there's 200 cans at the local store.
There's a mountain of them just waiting for you. Like, we've been waiting for you.
Actually, do these have any kind of a date code on them or anything that we can discern from?
Fuck, I have no idea.
I got LO40 and then a time.
That's what I got.
It's like one letter is missing out of the whole set. So like, I forget which one it is.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G,
I, wouldn't
J. L could be December. L is 12 in the alphabet.
Mine's J.
That's a lot less on the alphabet.
Don't forget, they always skip I.
Okay, so it's I they miss because it looks like a 1.
Yeah, they don't. They always skip I.
If they skip I, then L would be November. So that's still not terrible then, I think.
Yeah, I have K and 12. So if that's right, November or December 12th.
Yeah, and my guess is the 0 is just like 2020. So like once created this year would be
L.
one.
Yours would be November or something, wouldn't it? Or October.
Yeah, I got K 12, 22, 32.
Yeah, so if L's December, then K would be November. Still not terribly old though. It's a light log. It's basically a macro light lager. You could probably put this in the fridge, leave it sitting there for a year, and then drink it, and it would probably still taste more or less the same.
It keep.
It's going to be pretty stable, yeah.
I've got a K3, so.
So you're thinking December the 3rd.
No, again, that's K is before L, so that would be.
Oh, October the 3rd.
October, yeah. Well, whatever, 6 months. No.
Well,
3 months.
Generally, this beer is not like some of the other like organic or even like IPAs that are made from microbreweries. It doesn't spoil quick, doesn't it? I don't think like you keep it in the fridge for a year.
Lasts for a long time. Like yeah. I'm not even wondering. I'm kind of wondering what would happen with this beer when it did finally kind of go off. Like how bad could it end up tasting, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like there's so much water content. Does it really go bad? Is this like
nothing here
kind of shit?
I mean, if you want, I still have a Moosehead ginger in my fridge.
Oh, gross. I don't think anybody here remembers what Moosehead ginger is except for Lee Russell in the comments.
Did they even say that there's no preservatives in here? Because they probably have some. Anyways, it's a moot point because there's nothing in here that's even going to go bad.
Yeah.
Ewart is apparently way too good for this beer, according to the comments. Like he just
Should I continue reading?
Yeah. Okay. Let's go.
After beer for breakfast and Factor Snack said once again, Teku Ewart Murray wrote still a waste of calories.
That's the guy with the 10-penny old stock ale logo there. It's from Moosehead. Waste of calories, my ass.
And then Rick D says,
Hey, Rick.
I'm on 185 proof. Started with winter warmer, taking it easy at this point.
You're literally doing the polar opposite from the rest of us.
And then Teku Ewart says, but I'm sure Ashley, king of basic bitch lagers, loved it. And then in all caps, batch variation conspiracy.
Fuck.
Beer for breakfast, Factor Snacks. All right, anything that's all caps, I'm going to say it like you're screaming because that's basically what you're doing. So I'm not saying TS horrible Redbeard. All subscribe, guys. Cheers. And then Ewart says, "Now Redbeard corrects the alphabets." And then Ewart says, "Best before yesterday." And then Lee said, "Oh man, your caps lock key is stuck." And then Ewart says, 10 pennies, a classic redhead.
Until the hipsters revived it.
Yeah.
All truths. All truths.
Why do I sound like a white asshole Republican? Course Light, people watch.
Hey, Nick, do you mind if I give my scores quick? Because I got to jump out in a second.
All right,
Just
sir. Let's start circling back. I'm going to put Ashley up front, and he can give his final thoughts.
And just to clarify something that Ewart said that was scandalous is no, I'm not I don't even know how to say it, but I like Pilsners. Actually, I really like Pilsners, and I really like Schwarzbiers, and they both happen to be lagers. It doesn't necessarily I like every generic lager.
That means you're the king of basic lagers.
There we go. So to this, drinks like a light lager, 3.5%, very light, very watery. The nose is a little grassy, a little corny. They don't say all natural ingredients or malt only or anything like that. So I don't know. It comes across as having like some adjunct in there. There's definitely like the ever so faintest hop presence. But again, that's not what you're drinking this for. You're just drinking it for 3.5%. Hang out with your buds or whomever at the bar and pound a few of these, and you're fine. It's weird. On the very end of the sip, like at the very, very end, it almost tastes like there's like a cereal grain sweetness to it that it actually reminds me of what like Fruit Loops would taste like if you just put like a few Fruit Loops in some water and just sort of you get a little bit of like random generic sweetness to it. I sort of picked that up off this. I mean, it's not terribly offensive. It's just not. I think it's more of, and it sort of goes back to what we were talking about earlier. It goes back to being not so much a light lager, but more as just a calorie counter. As a light lager, I mean, I guess it sort of does the trick. There's just not, like, nothing is really standing out. It's just slightly alcoholized, mildly hopped Fruit Loop water. So, for the style, light lager, sure, I'll give it a 6.5. For personal preference, I'm going to go with a 4. Don't really like it.
All right, so 6 and 4?
6.5 and 4.
Okay.
I will try to be back. I'm going off cam.
All right, cool. See you in a bit.
You. I love you, Ashley.
Cheers.
All right, going over to Greg, Mr. Greggy. And
I don't have anything that interesting to say about this beer other than it's light, it's inoffensive, it's kind of like the Coors Organic. It's almost like you're drinking water, and if you're drinking it by a pool, it's warm, it might work for you. As a beer, it's not that exciting, but I do feel it kind of achieves what it wants to achieve. I mean, I've had this beer, I got this much left, and I've been drinking it for half hour at this point, and I mean, it's not offensive. So, I mean, if I was drinking a Coors Light at this temperature, I would hate myself. I don't hate myself. I mean, this isn't great by any means, but it's not. It's kind of like, do I get offended by water? Not really. I'm gonna say it's a light lager. It's good. It's an 8 out of 10 as a light lager. It completely achieves what it wants to achieve. It gives you something that's lighter and doesn't taste like anything. If you want something with more taste to it, get a real beer, I guess. I don't know. Personal preference, 5. It's a pass for me. I mean, I would even go higher if I was literally in a pool right now, maybe wearing a nice Speedo and the hot sun glistening on my chesticles. It would, it would be a great refresher. I could drink like 6 of these and not even know I was drinking. It would be great pool beer. But as it is, it's a beer pass for me. I really can't shit on it any more than that. It is what it is.
Nice. All right. Good review, Greg. All right. Let's go over to Beer Nomicron, who's already passed out drunk.
No.
With his eyes open.
No. I'm going to give it some good feedback. Reason being, I've tasted a lot of light beers, especially macros, and some other macro beers that are trying to make a light, micro-ish style light beer. This one comes not on top, but like really one of the more than just basic light beer. I actually find taste in that when I drink it compared to other light beers. I actually like the taste. And that's pretty much what I have to say good about it. I don't find anything bad about it for the price, sure. Sure, it's a light beer, but for those who like light beers, and want to taste something different, I think this is a very good. This is almost a go-to. I am gonna say what did I want to say again that I completely forgot. Yeah, it's not a beer. It like Greg said, it's a beer that you would want like if you're at a pool, or if you're during the day. I don't see myself drinking this if I'd be at a campfire at night when I want like a strong IPA or even a European Pilsner. So I don't think it's much like a night beer around a campfire. It's more like a day outside beer that is strong for chicken at barbecue, I would say, because I've just had chicken and it tastes good. So, yeah. Finally, I'm going to take this up the notch to 6.8 because due to the fact that it's one of the best of the lighter beers that I've had, I'm going to give it a good 6.8 on that. Style 6 for the style. That's 6.8 and 6. End it.
End it.
End it.
Yeah. All right, let's go over to Bearded Canoe. All right, what you think, Redbeard? What you saying?
Like I said earlier, it's a light lager. It's not generally something I gravitate towards at all. Like back when I first started my beer journey, this would have been kind of the only thing I could really tolerate, because anything that had any presence of hops or anything that wasn't just like Coors Light / Budweiser beer, I couldn't handle. Like I'm like one of my first beer reviews was actually Steam Whistle, and I thought it was gross. And now I drink it, and now it's just a boring beer. This is a boring beer, but there's nothing wrong with it. Like if you want a light lager, I highly recommend this. Like I'm in it for style. I'm giving that an 8.5. Personal enjoyment, I'm gonna go 6.5. Yeah, like I don't hate it. It's just really. I kind of like it, but it's just really, really, really boring. So that's why I'm kind of bringing my personal enjoyment down. But it's fine. I could, like Greg was saying, this ice cold beside a pool on a patio on a hot summer day. You could easily crush several of these, and they'd be more refreshing than drunk-inducing kind of thing. So, yeah. All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
I think a word I'm thinking of right now would be inoffensive. I think
I'm gonna grab my second one.
Yeah, great. All right, let's go over to Fuzz. He's probably already on a second one.
No, I only have one. But
one.
Yeah, well, I drank the other one yesterday.
Gotcha.
So I don't. This is a light Moose Light. I'm not sure if you guys get Moose Light down there, but around here, a Moose Light is a light Alpine. So, if you ever had an Alpine. So I would have this if I didn't have a Moose Light, and I'd have a Moose Light if I didn't have an Alpine. So I find it very inoffensive. It's water. It's beer flavored water. And like I said in the beginning, if this was aimed at a low calorie kind of market where, hey, we're trying to reduce your calories, I'd put this in a very different category, like with a Michelob Ultra or a Molson 67 or something like that. Very different category. If it was in that category, it'd get higher marks. It doesn't get as high marks. The taste is very bland. The back end has a little bit of, I don't know, coppery or grassy tones to it. Meh. So unfortunately, where they don't market it as the under 100 or even low calorie alternative to their Moose Light, and Moose Light's pretty average. I'm gonna go for style. I'm gonna give it a 5, and for a personal enjoyment, I'm gonna give it 5.5. Because I think for light lagers, you can do much better. Like their Moosehead Light lager is a better product than this. And the only thing I can think of that they would do with this is send it somewhere else, like ship it, where they don't ship Moose Light all that much. Well, they could ship this and fine. Like that's their That's their export beer, export light lager. Off it goes.
Ship that to the U.S. market, where I don't think you get Moose Light in the U.S. market. So
No, you
like
can't.
Premium product,
Right, but I mean, they said this is one of their premium full body taste, full flavors. No, it's not. I've had their other products, their other light products is a more full flavor beer. Is it full body? No. Is it light on alcohol? Yes, that's the only thing on the label that is correct. Right?
okay.
So yeah, I would prefer their local Moose Light over this Crack Canoe. Sure, I can drink 6. I can drink 6 of them. No problem. It's a driving beer. You have a few and you go driving. You don't drink and drive. I'm done.
All right. And you know what? We should take Fuzz's advice here to face value, because he's probably the most experienced moose drinker of us all. He's like your go-to is Alpine.
Yep.
Anyway, but I'm going to give my speech here, and I'm going to sound like I'm crazy compared to probably some of the people here, but I don't know. I like it. In fact, I'm on my second can and have that much left of it, so I got 1 and 2. So I am going through this like water, because it pretty much is beer water. That said, I do like it. I give you my flavor notes here. It kind of opens with when you open it up, it kind of gives you that subtle sulfur and herbal skunk that you would expect to get like a European inspired lager. And I think I saw somebody with the proper glassware there.
Yeah, I just noticed my glass is the Moosehead glass.
Nice. Anyway, this reminds me, like when the first whiff you crack open, you get when you crack open the beer is kind of like that smell that reminds me of being a kid and being at my dad's ball games and like be around the after game where everybody's drinking beer and like everybody's drinking like Moose products like Moose Lager or Alpine or what have you. And it kind of reminds me, that little whiff reminds me of what I remember I used to think beer was like when I was a kid. Obviously I was wrong, but there's that little hint of nostalgia to the aroma, which I kind of do appreciate. The taste of it, it's very light. It's bready. It's got this little bit of grassy sweetness. The carbonation's there, but it's not so powerful. It's like it's lightly fizzy. Even when it's warming up, it's not super bad. There's more of the sulfur notes come out of it, but it's not really like terrible, like salty, almost briny sulfur. It's more like what you expect to get for sulfur out of a Euro lager. It's very, very light. It's very watery, but it's at the same time does have some nice Euro lager flavors. And I think maybe Fuzz's analogy of like being a light moose out, like light Alpine or something, is probably accurate. But I think my opinion of it is a bit different than his, because this is, if you recall, this a low calorie beer or one of those super premium light lagers of the day that this was first came out at and was marketed towards. It's by far and away my favorite one of the bunch. Now, if you call middle or light like a low calorie beer, which it kind of is, and it's probably has as much like a much to claim the title as this does, but if you call it that, I think Miller Lite's really close. So those two, I don't know. I do really appreciate this. I mean, I don't like super like it's I wouldn't give it like a world class rating, but I would also say that for that low calorie, super light, ultra light lager, it's one of the top of the style. So I'm gonna give that actually a 9 for the style, considering what it is.
Yeah, man.
And then an overall enjoyment score of 6.
Nice.
Wow.
I'm drinking them. They're going down like water. And you know what? I'm not kidding. I bought a 6-pack of this stuff last week, and I had to go back and buy more because they're all gone.
Well, again, like I'm on my second one now, and it's like, I honestly, the smell, I don't know if anybody else gets this, but like a little bit kind of almost reminiscent of apple juice to me for some reason. I don't know if
It's like grassy sweetness.
But again, like I don't get the nostalgia thing you're getting, Nick. That's actually pretty random and cool. I like that.
Yeah, I know. It's just like that with, and like, you know what, Moosehead Pale and Moosehead Lager kind of do that for me too.
It's
like
just like the most unoffensive thing I've had in quite some time. This is, and the beer of the people kind of thing right here, I guess. Beer for everyone.
The truth is that in Nick's area, they're under a boil water advisory, and you really just needed some potable water. So
And if you didn't have any fruits around, like very difficult to get fruits in. The sailors, they had beer on the boats because it was it would
last.
It would
That's
last
where
longer.
the OG India Pale Ales came from.
Yeah.
They were-
Yeah.
I like the way you said this is the people's beer. It's like the German, der Volksbier.
Volksbier.
Der Volksbier.
Isn't like beer? What is it?
Beer.
Weizen. That's the Volksweisen. Yeah.
Anyway.
Volksweisen.
Der
Anyway,
Volksbier.
that's a Wagen. Unterwarnen. Alrighty, so I think Radar, I'm going to put you up front so you can read the rest of the comments.
Yes, sir. After I did the all caps thing and Republican voice thing, you went down on the caps and said, "It's weird on the end. I wanted to vomit." Ashley.
Wow.
And Lee Russell said, "Is Ashley also the name of one of your road hookers you ate?"
Oh.
And then Lee Russell said, asked the question of all questions, "What's next week's beer?"
It's been asked.
And anyways, Base Ment said, "Hi, Ashley." And then Ashley Sexton says, "Cheers, Base Ment." How's it going, Jeff?
All right, so we've had the magic question asked, what is next week's beer? And that is Hanlon's Point Coconut Coffee Porter from Grey Lake Brewery. It's Nick and Greg with a beard.
I was looking at that beer when I was at the LCBO.
We can go back and get it.
They still have it there? Here's the thing.
My LCBO, yes. I just saw it like an hour ago when I was there.
It looks very similar to their skinny dipping. No,
Chinook Stout or something. Is that
their
it?
shinny stout. Shinny stout is
Shinny Pants.
Shinny pants. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good beer.
That
The
actually looks like
the label does look pretty different overall. Like that's Gordy.
But
there.
the figures.
Gordon the Rest can wear nothing at all.
that's ghee.
Is
That's
there
not
any-
like-
You're right. Like, that's gonna look like skinny Gee. Gee doesn't have those muscles though. That's the only problem.
No, but he does have the hair on the chest.
Does that? What? You seen Gee naked? Wait, I don't want to know.
Yeah,
Chest, yes.
you don't know if Guy doesn't. If you don't know Guy doesn't have those muscles, he could. You just don't know.
We haven't seen him naked. We don't know.
He could.
It's funny. We just lost some viewers after we announced next week's beer. So like,
It doesn't look that similar.
that looks like you were playing hockey.
Oh, you're right.
That does look like yours.
Again, the color scheme is kind of similar, so you could maybe just at a glance mistake them. But yeah, take 2 seconds.
Well, take a look and see if you can get it. I'm pretty sure. Didn't you already buy one of these, Redbeard?
Damn right.
All right. And I know Greg's got one because he sent me one.
Do you still have it?
Lady Lee can potentially get it as well. I think there's still a few at that LCBO here. So
Really?
Nice.
Wow.
Not available in New Brunswick though.
No.
Well, you know,
Yeah, Shrek sent me this one a while ago, but we need
regular
to
connection going on.
Gregular.
Regular.
Be up to our necks in filthy Gregulars.
I'll give you a great.
For the greater good.
Sounds terribly inappropriate.
Anyway. And Lady Lee says she can get it. Ooh. Nice.
Happy
Right.
face.
All right. So yeah, then we'll do that next week, and then we'll do something a little bit more accessible for everybody, like a BYOB. I want to do a BYOB here soon because we try to do one of those at least once a month.
Biob.
Job. All righty. So I think I want to thank all 9 viewers we have right now, and everybody who posted in the comments, like Kent Beer Reviews, Lee Russell, Beer for Breakfast, aka Andrew Watts, and also Rich DeGraz.
Do we have a final score?
Rick
Oh yeah, I gotta do the math. Shit. Well, keep talking then. I'll
You
disappear.
didn't even do the math.
I
during
didn't
all
even
that?
do the math. You know, I wasn't even thinking of that.
As I,
That's professional. All right.
On
So
the ball tonight,
My
Nick.
God.
I already have the graphic design, so I'll be quick.
as I'm drinking more, sorry, as I'm drinking more of this beer, the more I'm actually appreciating it more.
It's
It's enjoyable for the price of it. Like, I think what was it, $2.45 or a can or two?
it's on sale right now here in Ontario, so it's like 25 cents off or something. It's,
So I mean,
It
like
was-
I had to slow down because I was going to just gulp the whole thing, like in 1, 2, 3 gulps and then be done. I had to slow down and say, no, I gotta wait because I'm at the end of the review. Like we went through everybody. I'm the last guy. Like, if I slow down, I might have some. Technically, but I'm the last guest, I guess. So going through all that, I'm at the end. So I'm like, maybe I should slow down and have a swig before I make my.
I feel like it would actually be kind of a like a challenge, like a hard thing to do to actually drink enough of these to get like hammered.
It'd be tough.
You'd be so full and bloated.
Yeah, let's do that one night. Like BA 101 next week. Let's see as many crack canoes as we can drink.
Everybody buy a 2-4. See you can go get through to most of the 2-4.
The winning strategy.
Where do we win?
Would be don't eat and have a hot summer day.
Yeah,
100%. You know what?
I get drunk too quick if I didn't eat. Like just you'd have.
Yeah, I do. Like I need
no food in your stomach to absorb it.
Then that's a way to get drunk on cracking it.
I suppose that's true. That's the challenge, isn't it?
Maybe.
I tried to fix my emergency brake and realized I can't just fix like my e-brake on my car is.
So maybe they call this crack canoe. The old adage joke. It's like it's like fucking close to water.
American beer.
Yeah.
I will now be drinking this.
What's that?
Oh, he did find a Life in the Clouds.
Yeah.
Life in the Clouds. Nice.
Life in der Klude.
Yeah, I couldn't drink too many of these in quick succession because of the carbonation. It really.
Oh. That's what I'm saying.
You're not wrong. You'd be belching it up after a while. I don't.
Be very protein.
Yeah.
And I think
right.
Yeah, go. Sorry.
Boom. There you go. There's your ratings. So 7.17 out of this for the style and 5.63 overall. That's not bad. It's, like compared to its other compatriots like Michelob Ultra, where we basically all shit on it.
Is that what we drank like a few months ago?
I think it's been more than a few months. I think it was like maybe last summer or maybe a while ago. I have to look it up. But yeah, like we really shit on that beer hard.
I think the last time we reviewed a light lager or something like that, I think I crushed like 3.5 of them during the review. I can't remember what it was though. I'd have to look back.
Yeah, they usually last like 48 minutes, or an hour. That was quick.
Notice like when in StreamYard, just randomly, when Nick has his picture up currently, we're all off to the left side. So nobody's face is being cut off by that stupid StreamYard powered thing. When Nick shares somebody in the main screen,
like if I've got me over here, like I'm the only one that's going to be sharing the main screen. But if I put my picture back up, that is weird.
Why can't we always go to the left? That's just dumb.
I don't. Can I move this shit or what?
Craig's a duck right now.
I can actually make Ashley rubbing his face there.
It's like Greg has a hat made out of a duck.
Oh, you don't have to have the person like.
True.
That's weird because you
click and drag and drop.
That's kind of cool. So like we can get. I'd say do this more often than having like the person fully done, so you can see the other people's reactions.
I might do that going forward, actually.
Well, because usually like everybody.
Because all I have to do is like Greg wants to talk, and just drag him forward like that.
Yeah.
Greg never wants to talk
anymore. Full screen except you're the only one that when you talk right now, that's how you usually look when you're saying your stuff. But everybody else is usually full screen.
Yeah, I usually full screen people when they're talking because, that's the way we used to do it. But when I do full screen, I don't put myself up forward. I've got a button where I can just profile myself. But I didn't know you could actually alternate with people just by simply clicking and drag. This click and drag thing, I think, is new in StreamYard.
That's really cool.
That is neat, actually. I like that idea.
Revolutionary.
Yeah. Yay. All right. So now that we know what next week's beer is going to be, I guess that's it. So I want to thank, we got 10 viewers right now watching this crap. So I want to thank everybody's patience putting up with this. And also I want to thank everybody for watching. So we will talk to you folks on Impossible After Chat. Cheers.
Butthole.
Cheers.
Butthole.
Butthole.
Butthole.